All right, we're here today with Julie, who has been in the Total Life Fitness Academy for a couple months now and has been doing a really great job. And today she's going to be sharing a bit about her experience in the program. So, Julie, just tell us a little bit in the beginning, a little bit about who you are, maybe what you do, where you're from, and kind of maybe what you were struggling with prior to joining our program.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. My name is Julie Hauser. I live in the St. Louis, Missouri area. So what I was doing prior to this was seeing a nutritionist, doing my walking, the normal routine. So I tried to keep my diet and health in front of me, and things weren't changing with my body. I also have a family history of some medical conditions, and so I wanted to make sure that I address that with myself and my health and um, I work also very long hours in sales. It's high pressure. I go to school at night. So my lifestyle is just super, super busy. So prior to coming to Luke, that was some of the things that I was doing, just regular workouts, walks, and just monitoring my diet, seeing a nutritionist, trying to keep my diet in check. I am a vegetarian. I do eat some fish here and there. So making sure I get all the nutrition that I need. So that was kind of me prior to seeing you, Luke.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a full schedule. But yeah, obviously, like you said, ultimately made the decision to make the changes. So, before we kind of get into that, so I guess, why did you ultimately decide to join our program, and what were maybe a hesitation maybe you had prior to joining it, if any?
My main priority for joining the program was nutrition and getting stronger. So as I'm aging, I'm 45 years old, and my body has changed quite a bit in my 40s, and I wasn't prepared for it. So again, with the diet that I eat, is it the right diet? Am I getting all the nutrition that I need? And then also my bone strength as I'm getting older, and taking care of myself. So that was really my main priority for joining the program. If I guess, if I had any hesitation on it, it would have been just my time. And like I explained before, I work quite a bit. And so was this going to take a lot of time? Was I going to have to be on a really strict diet? Was I going to have to work out until my body hurt? Because I just didn't like that recovery time.
Yeah, for sure. No, and appreciate you sharing that. So now that you've obviously been in the program, kind of take us through, like, what is some of the biggest value, maybe some of the skills that you've learned, or maybe even value that you didn't expect to receive that you've gotten.
I've learned a lot of skills. Just the food that you eat, the difference that it makes in the way you feel. And when I say feel, like feeling full, or how hungry you are, or how tired you are. So I've learned that the nutrition you eat really is, I know people say this, but it truly is your fuel. So I've learned that. Then I've also learned proper ways to work out, and what areas that, so Luke, when I had talked to you previously, what areas I want to work on my body as far as strength. And so you really targeting that and having the proper form, and knowing how much to actually work out, that it didn't have to be, hours a day, every day to get certain results. So I've learned a lot of different skills, from what I eat to how I move, and even how all that relates to just the way I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so happy to hear all that. So, now that the questions out, biggest wins. So, kind of share with us your specific biggest wins, as far as weight loss, inches lost, like those kind of things, and just how you're feeling since joining the program.
Yeah, so my weight loss has been great. I've only been in the program a few months, and I'm already down 12 pounds. So I surpassed my goal, and I'm eating more food than I've ever eaten before, which is odd that that's not supposed to happen, right? But it is happening. So I am never hungry. I eat a great diet. I'm saving a lot of money on my grocery bill, which is really interesting because I'm eating more food. So how is that possible? Um, I really haven't looked at my measurements so much, but I will say that I'm down a whole size in my clothing, at least a size or two. Um, and hmm, I've also seen a reduction of swelling, like in my face. I can look at pictures just from a couple of months ago and see, and I know your weight loss shows in your face as well, but 12 pounds I didn't think would make it that big of a difference. I really do think it was the food that I was eating that was causing the swelling in my face, the bags under my eyes. So I've lost all of that. I know that seems like a lot of wins, but there's been a lot of wins in the last 90 days for me, or less than 90 days with this
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, that's so exciting to hear because, a lot of these we're talking about like, months down the road, but you're already, feeling better, right now, which is really good to hear. So, obviously now you've been in the program for a couple months and, for anyone who's watching this or kind of listening who might be like, well, this sounds interesting. Could this be for me? What would you say to anyone who's maybe on the fence about joining the program?
To put your health first. I would really say this, that your health has to come first. You don't get a redo. So to prioritize yourself. If it's money, I would just say really think about that because I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation with you and I about family members, and my father had passed away from fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic. He did not drink. He worked every day. He worked in construction. I don't feel like he was obese. He had the construction belly, obviously, but fatty liver took his life, and it's not a good way to pass either. It's a slow death, and he paid a lot of money in medical bills, a lot of money. And during that time frame, he was never even offered a nutritionist, which I thought was really interesting, or an exercise regimen. His doctor just said, eat better, exercise more, but he didn't really have that support. And I think if anybody's watching this, so really think about that, really think about what you're putting into your body and really having to move. I know life gets busy, but we don't get redos with our body. And money, they make more of it, but they don't make more bodies. They just don't. You don't have a spare body, and everything you do now does have an effect. It has a consequence on the future. I think if my father um, knew what he knew, he would go back and change it. It was interesting, Luke, because one of the things that we tried to do prior to his passing was to visit St. Louis University, and they had a really good liver program there. And I thought it was really interesting the questions they first asked him when he arrived. It was, how many sugary drinks do you drink and how often do you eat out? And that really resonated with me, because he was really big into grabbing, a hamburger at lunch and having that Pepsi, several times a day. And it hurt him. He did not do drugs. He did not drink. He literally lost his life to his lifestyle choices when it came to food and drink. And so I would say, put yourself first. Life is busy, but if we can't take care of ourselves, we're no good to anybody else. And I don't know about anybody else, but I have a lot to live for, and I want to be healthy, and I don't want my family to look at me and go, boy, mom, if you would have just made different choices, you could have been here longer with me. I don't want that for my family. So be accountable, take care of yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, Luke knows how. So reach out to him. He can help you. That's what I would
Well,
say. I know that's a little long, so thanks for listening, but it really hits home to me that, and I'll say this too. Prior to you, Luke, I seen a nutritionist, and she was really, really great and gave me a lot of information, but it didn't tie everything together. It didn't put the kind of like the exercise program into the accountability into the nutrition together. She was just one component of that. And although a great component, it wasn't the whole package. So I think having your program all in one, it's almost like a one-stop shop. And it's not an app, it's real people that are working with you. I work with you and I work with Mark, and Mark always answers my questions if I have any concerns or I'm feeling, tired one week. He's given me some ideas of how to get my energy levels up. So it's a nice support system, as well as getting that education and then getting that structure. So I would say for all the busy adults, it's a one-stop shop. This is a easy program, and it doesn't require a lot, just your accountability to it. So, and the one thing my nutritionist said that really stuck with me was that she is finding people younger and younger with fatty liver disease, irreversible fatty liver disease, because of the food that they're eating. In their 20s, she has patients. So it can happen to any of us if we're not taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, geez. Well, I mean, powerful words right there. And obviously, so happy to hear the impact it's having on you and appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I appreciate everything that you're doing for us in the group and caring about us and talking to us and supporting us and just being there and having the meetings that you have and teaching us. So thank you.
Absolutely.